Hello and welcome to another episode of Monifactory here in the collective. So today I figured we would work on the oxygen setup here, which you basically will use an igneous extruder here to create some cobble, and then we forge hammer that into gravel. The gravel then gets sifted in a sifter to create flint. We then macerate that to create flint dust. We'll centrifuge that to create silicon dioxide, and then we will take the silicon dioxide and electrolyze that and get oxygen gas. And then also silicon dust as a side effect. So that whole process is decently cheap. I think we only need like a 4 or 8 amp converter here for the whole process, but we will get that set up. So let me go ahead and get the machines built up, and then we can walk through setting the whole process up. Alright, we've got all the machines ready, and we're going to go ahead and build the setup here. Mostly just because the igneous extruder does require lava, and I don't really want to set that up down there in the wooden house right at the moment. One thing that I did do was I ran another line of laser I/O connectors and all that from the drawer down there with sugarcane all the way up to this one, so that I don't have to manually transfer it at the moment. And this power setup here is helping to feed the blast furnace here. We do have a decent amount of aluminum here and a little bit more to process, but kind of going. So I'll probably process some of the aluminum and create an aluminum drum to store the oxygen in for the moment, just to create a decent buffer. I'm thinking that I'm going to start the oxygen setup probably right here. We do still have some space in the chunk that direction, off to the east, so we might extend this out a little bit more at some point. We'll have to see, but for the moment I will probably go ahead and put the setup right here. So let's go ahead and place down the converter. Let's see here. We will put you right here, aim you up, and then go ahead and put the conductive iron right there. In my my build that I have for Monifactory, I went and put the forge hammer on top, actually just on this top block here, because the cobblestone generator is the nuclear craft one that it doesn't require anything. You just place it wherever, and you don't need anything in particular next to it. Since we need some lava and water here though, I'm going to modify the setup by placing the forge hammer on one of the sides here. Go ahead and plop this down. We'll put some tin item pipes going up to the forge hammer here, and we will need a conveyor on the pipe. Go ahead and have to set that to import so that it imports into the pipe network, because the forge hammer does not, or the igneous extruder doesn't auto output by default, I believe. So, all right, put the water on this side, I think, and and the lava on that side. And we should have, yep, cobblestone going into the forge hammer. So now we need to sift that. Let's see here, we'll go ahead and place that. All right, so we need to sift the items. So we'll go ahead and set the output, and we'll go ahead and set the output there. And we will set auto item output. We're going to go ahead and use 10 item pipes just because it's convenient, it's cheaper than the laser IO setup. And actually let me grab a laser here, and we will plop you there and add an energy card, and then we'll need some of the connectors here. I'll go ahead and place one right about there. We should be able to connect up. There we go. Alright, so we should have power. We've got the forge hammer converting into gravel. The gravel is sifting. And next up we need the macerator. So we'll go ahead and place the macerator there, and another pipe here, and set auto output. And now we've got the flint dust. Next up with the flint dust, we need to centrifuge it, I believe. Yep, centrifuge it. So let's see here. Do I want the final product up top? I think that'll be fine. I think we can do just fine with that. So we'll go ahead and auto output. And then place the centrifuge. And here we go. We are getting silicon dioxide. I'm gonna go ahead and set the output on this to the top, and then we will place the final electrolyzer up here. Now, I suppose we can do that. And here we should have silicon dust and oxygen dust. So let's set, one of the nice things about Monifactory is that you can independently set the fluid output and the item output. So I think actually I want maybe fluid output on the top and the item output on the side. So we'll put the item output there. Go ahead and put a void upgrade in there. Go ahead and lock the drawer, and then let me go get a drum here made up, and then we will have the oxygen gas up top here, and that'll start filling up. Alright, so we've got the drum made up here. Go ahead and, oh, you know what? This, for whatever reason, does not seem to want to work well in Monifactory. I seem to remember this working okay in Monifactory, but because of the fact that the fluids drain down, it does not work if you put drum on top. So we will just go ahead and go in here and reverse. We'll go in here and reverse things and put the oxygen on the side here. I don't know if I had a quest for that yet or not, but yep, okay, I've already gotten the quest. So we've got that set up. And we'll probably go ahead and silence a couple of these things here. With a hammer. And then next step here is to look at the sodium persulfate. So sodium persulfate is made by electrolyzing sodium bisulfate dust. The route that I like to take is to use salt and sulfuric acid on circuit 1 in a chemical reactor. That's because the salt can be regenerated. If you electrolyze the hydrochloric acid byproduct, you get hydrogen and chlorine gas. If you take the chlorine gas and then throw that in a chemical reactor here, if you throw it in a chemical reactor with sodium, that will generate your 2 salt back. So the chlorine salt is a closed loop. The only thing that you have to provide is sodium dust, which you'll get plenty of by electrolyzing clay dust for aluminum, and I believe there are a couple other methods for getting it. So that's kind of the route that I like to go for that. The sulfuric acid I have in the past made, but I think I have found a way that I can, maybe make that so you combine hydrogen sulfide with oxygen gas and you get a bucket of sulfuric acid. Now, hydrogen sulfide can be made by combining sulfur dust and hydrogen gas. Well, as a part of the byproduct from making sodium persulfate, you get 1 bucket of hydrogen gas at the final step, plus when you electrolyze the hydrochloric acid, you get 1 bucket of hydrogen gas. So that's the 2 buckets that we need for the 1 bucket of hydrogen sulfide. So I think I can get this down to just 2 solid inputs, sulfur and sodium, which are a lot easier to come by and should be fewer steps than the normal kind of path for sulfuric acid, which kind of is usually a multi-step process, creating sulfur trioxide, sulfur dioxide, and all that. So I think we can cut out a couple steps and kind of have a closed loop for sulfuric acid for the most part. So let me look into that here a little bit and see if I can't get those and get kind of the machine set up for it. So we will see what we can accomplish here. Alright, I think I've got everything that we need here. So let's see here, where do we want to build this? I think I might put it over here in this corner. I had maybe thought about kind of extending and using this area for the multi-blocks and especially a long line of blast furnaces, but I think that will probably end up somewhere else at some point, maybe further into the mountain somewhere. So for the moment I'll probably put it right here, and then I do still have the steam furnace that I need to build, or steam oven. So that'll probably go somewhere in and around there, but we will see. So I have tended to like to kind of build up in towers here. It just kind of, I think, makes some of the logistics a little bit easier. So let's see here. I kind of want the output. Let's work back here. I kind of want the last electrolyzer to go. Let's put the electrolyzer right here for now, and then we will have put the sodium persulfate right there. We're gonna have to make some more laser nodes here. And then the output here so from there we will need the sodium bisulfate, and that is going to be a chemical reactor. It's going to have sodium bisulfate. I'll go ahead and put the chemical reactor right up here, and we will just put the liquid output going down, or not liquid output, we want the fluid output to go down, and the liquid output can go back to the back here. Let me go ahead and figure out kind of where I want some of these items to go, and then we will be right back. Alrighty, I think I've got most everything laid out here. Let's see here. That one's sulfur in, hydrogen in. This one was going to be an input for the, let's see here. So we needed the sulfuric acid, so we need oxygen gas, and then the hydrogen sulfide is already coming in. So we're going to do this one as an orange input filter, and we will drag oxygen in here. And then we will need one more node here, and we're going to plop that right there. We're going to pop a fluid card in here, extract on orange, and we will round robin it and then connect you up. And now we should have oxygen coming in, and the hydrogen sulfide. Let's see here, sulfuric acid, we need circuit 2. So we'll set that as circuit 2. Alright, so this one is for the salt creation, so we will need some sodium here. Just grab that, pop that on orange channel, and then let's see here, we will also need the chlorine gas, I believe. Yep, so chlorine gas, and that will come from the electrolyzing of the hydrochloric acid, and that I believe is going to be on orange channel because I have, or no, not orange channel. What do I have? I don't think I've got that set up yet. Probably make it the pink channel here. So that will come from, yep, the chemical reactor right above. That makes that, so that's going to be this one up here, which is going to make the sodium bisulfate. We'll set that to circuit 1, and we need to insert salt and sulfur, and then we'll also need to extract. So we will need to extract. So this is going to be purple extract. We need That I'll have to make up some more of the, actually this will probably be blue channel. Set that for. I'll have to make some more filters here, and this will probably be on purple channel as well. Let me get some more filters here made up, and some more of the cards, and we should be able to finish this up. Alright, I've got some more items here made up. I did happen to go ahead and just electrolyze a couple buckets of water just to get some initial hydrogen set up here. So, and then I will go ahead and pop in some sulfur dust in there. I might just go ahead and pop the sulfur dust there and then get an upgrade to just push there, or I suppose I can grab a conveyor here and just go ahead and import, and that'll do for now. I can just manually supply that, and then for the sodium here, let's see here, that one is electrolyzing, so this one I believe was the one that we needed the sodium on. May actually just go ahead and put the sodium right there. That way we don't need this card. We can save a filter. Put you away. And we just need the chlorine gas. And I'll grab another conveyor here and set you to import. And there we go. So the chlorine and sodium here in the chemical reactor. Was okay, no circuit. So, and then let's go ahead and get some power in here so we can just kind of start seeing what we've got working and what we don't. If we've got anything working. Alright, so the sulfuric acid is, or hydrogen sulfide is being made. And then the hydrogen sulfide is converting to sulfuric acid. That's being made. The sulfuric acid then needs to go to one of the chemical reactors here. So we will need sulfuric acid in this one, and then the salt into this one, and that should get us our sodium bisulfate as well as so let's see here, we've got the sulfuric acid. We'll add another of these, pop you on extract. Oh, I added it to the wrong. There we go. So now we've got that going in here. Let me get some salt here, and then I think we should be getting pretty close to being done. Alrighty, I have some salt here. Let's see here. I am going to throw in, so it's 2 per 1, so I'll go ahead and throw in 8 here. And then that was on circuit 1. Alright, so we've got that. Sodium bisulfate is going there, and then the hydrochloric acid should be coming out on blue channel. And then that needs to go in here on blue channel. So we've got that coming in here. Hydrogen and chlorine. We will need another fluid card here, orange extract, and do round robin. Just gonna pop that in there, and then we will just go ahead and set the chlorine to orange channel, and that is coming in here. So now, there's our salt. The salt here we will need on going out, I think, extract on orange, maybe. No, we are going to extract on purple. And the salt is gone, and now we've got salt again. So now we have a closed loop setup, or a fairly closed loop setup. We've got our sodium persulfate and our quest done. And this is a fairly closed loop setup here. Not completely, because we do still need sulfur dust as an input and sodium dust as an input, but those are fairly easy to create. And then the oxygen that we use is basically free. It just costs energy because we're getting it from cobblestone. And I do like to go the flint route. I think you get more flint. The quest book recommends creating sand, forge hammering the gravel down into sand, and then I believe you macerate or electrolyze the sand to get, I think you go for macerating it to get glass dust, and then you electrolyze the glass dust or centrifuge the glass dust to get silicon dioxide. But I think the flint route is more efficient. Yep, and then we've got plenty of silicon there. And like I said, it's just sodium dust and sulfur. I've got a bunch of sulfur being processed in the steam grinder, and then I will probably do some more processing of clay dust for aluminum, just so I can kind of keep cooking that up and getting a bunch of aluminum, because we will need a ton of it for the whole thing. So let's see here and see how our power is. It looks like we're probably using a little too much power right at the moment for our system to keep up. So we might have to turn the blast furnace off, at least until the sodium persulfate fills up, or just kind of stop the last step here. We don't need the sodium persulfate quite yet, but we will here shortly. But I think that is good for now. So we will probably call it here. So I hope you enjoyed the episode here in the collective. Today we made oxygen gas and sodium persulfate in preparation for future episodes. So thanks again for watching.